If you look inside the Teachers area from the home page on your purple mash, you'll find that there's a folder called Subject Leader Toolkits. On opening it, you'll find that there are currently Subject Leader Toolkits for computing, English, maths, science, and foundation stage. Ultimately, there will be one for each of the different subject areas, so just keep your eye on this space. We're looking at the Science Leaders Toolkit today. Once you open it, inside you'll find that there's an overview. First place to go and look. And clicking on this just tells you all about what we're trying to do for you, and then leads you through a summary of what's available in the rest of the folder, leading right the way through the action plans, audits, budget tool, policies, self-evaluations, surveys, and tips for science leads. That's where we're going to start. Let's take a look at the tips for science leads. This is the very first place I'd come to if I was new to the subject, or if I'd been doing it for a while. It just makes me realise that there are certain things that maybe I've not been addressing, or things that just need revising. So it helps you know what your role should and shouldn't be. That's a good starting place. Make sure that everybody else understands what you're supposed to be doing too. If you're not an expert in science, but you've just been given this role, what you need to do is to make sure if you don't know something, then you find it out. Know what your science is like in your school. Find all of the relevant documentation. You can use everything that's available within our toolkit to be able to help you to find a lot of the detail. Understand your school's overall current position by looking at the SEF and the SIP. Make an action plan. There's stuff in here to help you. Look at the protocols. How do you plan, deliver and assess science? That can be done very nicely within your purple mash through the to-dos and associated documentation that's found in the curriculum maps. Monitor what's going on. Audit yourself. You need to know where you're at before you can try and help anybody else. And also try to feel like you're not working in complete isolation by finding out what other people are doing in other schools. This bit here really, I think, should be at the top. It's going to take you a while to get yourself organised. Don't feel like you can do it all in one go. Returning to the Science Leaders Toolkit, it's well worth noting that everything that's in this folder can be downloaded. It could be as a zip file, open it up, and they're editable so that you can make little alterations on there, save you having to start with a blank piece of paper. Action plans, always handy to have a look at those. Got the template, got an example so that it's got relevant vocabulary, so if you again having to try and work out what's going to be appropriate to go in them. They're in the form of PDFs. As I said, if you're in the Science Leaders Toolkit, you can find versions that are editable. Audit your subject. Let's have a quick look. Over the past 12 months, what training's been provided? This just takes you through it. It guides you through all those different areas that you need to have knowledge of so that you can have complete understanding of what's going on in your subject. The budget tool, that's actually an Excel spreadsheet. Again, helps you just to keep tabs on how much money you're spending or how much you've been allowed and how much you've managed to actually use up. Self-evaluation, that's the bit we were talking about earlier. Make sure that you know what's going on. Again, there are editable versions. If I just click in here, maybe print it off so that you can highlight it, and then you've got a very easy to see overview of where you're up to and what you've been achieving. Again, staff survey. Go on here for science, and it's in the form of a PDF, and it's just a little tick box. But what's quite nice, because you have to sort of collate all of the information from this, is if you were to give that out in the form of a survey. This is in our 2Survey tool. you could go through and you can alter the questions here. There's actually 71 questions on here at the moment. If you wanted to, you could perhaps tweak a few of them. But the nice thing about it is that the information all comes back in and you can see it in the form of pie charts, graphs. All of that analysis has been done for you. So all you have to do is decide what your action plan might happen to be. What you can do is to give that out to your staff. If I just say I want to share that, it says no, you can't do that because you have to save it first. Very easy that all the staff will get it because we're going to give it out in the form of an attachment to the email. I just click compose your email. It's coming from me. If I go to my contacts, I can then go and look at my users, select all my members of staff, and then send to them. So they would get it, they'd see it, they would be able to respond to it, and you would have the information at your fingertips. All comes in. Just leave that one. Always handy to know what parents and pupils are thinking as we're going along. Again, you've got the surveys here, or you've got them in paper form on this one. And then we can go down to the science policy document. Everything's here. Lots of suggestions. It's just an example. But as we said before, it's always easier to alter something that's already there than to come up with it in the first place. So you can change, make it appropriate for your particular school and where they're currently up to. So there you have it. That's your Science Subject Leaders Toolkit and everything that's in it and what it might do for you in your current role as science lead.